Jan's J for the somehow uninitiated who clicked on this video by a miracle is the solo debut project of NCT member jaehyun. This album is mostly songs with an R&B adjacent sound and the other genres infused along for the ride. I have been talking about making this video on the community tab ever since we got the first bubble message from jaehyun, because despite never mentioning it in any of my videos, I am a very dedicated fan of jaehyun's solo music. In fact, jaehyun is my favorite K-pop soloist after this album release, and therefore I hope it's clear I am biased on this review. But as always, I will try to review this album with honesty and point out the weaker sides that inevitably exist to each body of work. Smoke's instrumental in the verses is very pleasant, and the vocals in the pre-chorus are also really great. I was disappointed by the chorus itself taking the NCT route of having no vocals and instead a strong beat with talking over it. It's so disjointed and it doesn't suit the song's verses and vibe at all. It's almost like it was made first, the chorus, and then it was attached to a great song. It's almost a Frankenstein of a song. This song suffers from a short runtime, with the second verse barely even having time to start before it ends. It feels like they wanted a big bridge in this song as well, but their runtime didn't allow for it, so it was cut quick to reach a dense break of sorts with the instrumental in the end. The instrumental in the end is really nice though. The strings and the sax feel magical. The song would have come together better if the instrumental in the chorus was more adjacent to the rest of the verses despite the opening verse having a strong beat as well, which kind of pulls it together. The second chorus with ad-libs and strings as well as the end really proved the song could do more with a sax or ad-libs in the chorus. This isn't an NCT song, it's a jaehyun song, so personalize the chorus instead of shoving it in. This is a great jaehyun song with an NCT chorus. I love the strings and sax in the closing section though. I wish it was the backdrop for the talk rapping section. The color grading on this music video is gorgeous, and that really scratched an itch in my head, so thank you so much SM. Well, I'm not a big fan of the Curse of Smoke. I like the Kai and Taemin vibe with the coding for the dance section. The choreography for the chorus was also leaning towards Kai and Taemin style, and I think that's the best way to make the chorus actually good visually. The little dance number to the strings and sax in the end is really cute, and that one is definitely all jaehyun in terms of identity. The styling being very old school in the more film-inspired parts of this song is absolutely fun. I don't think there's a piece of clothing besides the white suit which stuck out to me, but I don't think any of them are bad. They're definitely good at contributing to the atmosphere. I like that there's an old movie concept to this music video, with us going through black and white, then a retro look. Jaehyun being obsessed with himself so much it's killing him is a good metaphorical representation of narcissism. The entire idea of Jaehyun trying to horror movie himself and washing his hands off the blood is definitely interesting and has a lot more thought put into it than the beauty shots we've been getting for years. I like the screen size changes based on the time of the movie we are watching. The dull color in the black and white section of the music video leading us to a new era of TV is also super creative. This concept was really giving me One Division if it was directed by Sam Raimi, but I'm not complaining at all. Keep noting that SM. The mood board is doing it right. Keep taking inspiration from actually good stuff. I enjoy a cohesive music video, and the direction and idea behind this one are definitely thought-provoking. Roses is a pre-release, so I have more concrete thoughts on it. The voice memo in the beginning is a really great tone setter. I like how the song's instrumental is kinda empty, and it mostly relies on the top line on its verses. It gives a lonely feeling which fits the lyrical theme. The chorus is so fun in my opinion, true R&B on its second part with the echo, and the ensemble replying roses really gives the feeling of a funeral to this relationship. You're putting roses on the grave of this relationship. It's tragic and reminds me of Greek plays where the ensemble sings. I like the lyrics and metaphors on this song a lot. K-pop really can be serious in English and match the lyricality of Western artists. His vocal delivery on this song too is absolutely great performance and delivers the message to us. He's really bitter about this ex of his. I get it. Also, technically a good performance, which isn't surprising from an SM artist but is pleasant nonetheless. After we had to endure 2 years of less than good vocals and anchors from male soloists. Flaming Hot Lemons really does sound like an Emotional Oranges song. That beat is signature, but I like Emotional Oranges a lot, so this is the positive for me. The song's title as a distorted sound in the background, it's genuinely a cute flair to this song. I like hearing Jaehyun on an Emotional Oranges track. This song has a linked problem as well, but I feel like the talking section as a hook is much better here than in Smoke. The rap on this song is genuinely better than anything Jaehyun did on NCT's title tracks. Lyricality isn't that deep in this song, but I feel like not every song has to be deep, and the simplicity on the track works for me, though may come across as boring for others. Keeping a song simple is actually good in some cases, such as this. Not every song has to be big. The song is just the word pleasant translated in a sonic way. I like it a lot. It definitely has a good chill vibe and not the bad addition to the album. Dandelion is another pre-release I had time to think about and adjust. I went from not liking it to really loving it. It sounds like a follow-up to his SM Station release Horizon, and it's a very cute song. The verses on this song are definitely the most positive highlight I have, since the melody and delivery are playful and it really does complement the instrumental. I like the lyrics on this song a lot. Comparing a love interest to the sun on your face and all the other cute metaphorical compression. The song's highlight point is definitely its bridge-turned-outro because we can't have a 3-minute song on a 2024 album. I love this song. Every time I listen to it, I find more stuff to like. There is nothing bad about it from a production standpoint besides runtime, so I think liking it or not comes down to personal taste. But yeah, besides the stuff I already mentioned, the best thing about this song is the lyrics. Like, if you really have to think about it, listen to this song with the lyrics open, it will definitely become 10 times more charming. Completely is a piano ballad. The piano here is really nice actually. I was pleasantly surprised to hear a piano ballad, but it absolutely suits the album. It's heavy with emotion and definitely is carried by Jaehyun's vocal performance. I really feel like Jaehyun is good at embodying the feeling of loving someone and yearning. I felt sort of sad throughout this track, which means he pulled off a piano ballad. Those are the hallmarks. The drama of it and the sincerity of someone singing along to a piano is classic, and this song respects those basics and is all the better for it. I'm glad they stuck to basics here. It absolutely works. I just feel like this song needs to be a closer to an album and not in the middle of its runtime. But it landed on an album with a very strong closer, therefore it was put in the middle. This is a song from Bruno's books and generally a ballad, which is definitely not for everyone. Probably not for me either. The runtime for once is great, especially since it allows the epic bridge to properly lead to a Sadermo low-key version of the chorus. The song really ends after making you feel empty, which was probably the desired effect. I need more time with her, but I definitely think this song suits the album and Jaehyun did a great job with it. I'm glad in 2024 a piano ballad is still something a K-pop idol can release. The song is named Easy and it feels like Le Surfim Shade. Sorry, this is a joke. This has nothing to do with Le Surfim. I just had to make it a joke. The instrumental is very fun and the vocal delivery is just as interesting to listen to. Props to the direction on this track in the studio. The chorus isn't big, but the hook is catchy. I only realized the chorus was the chorus on my first listen because of repetition, since the key doesn't change much throughout this track. The more quiet instrumental during the pre-chorus makes the chorus sound like a chorus. It's definitely a fun R&B track though. I like the verses, and I feel like with time I can definitely grow to like it much more. Also, this is the song we allowed to go past 3 minutes. The one song in this album that didn't need 30 seconds of instrumental in the end. This is another simple song, but this time it felt too simple to me. Like there's more to this track, but I can't put my finger on what is missing. I enjoy it, but I want something more. It's not incomplete by any means, it's just underdeveloped, possibly to accommodate its place as a track in the middle of the album and a B-side. Can't Get You is my favorite among the pre-releases, and the instrumental is absolutely disgusting, in the best way possible. The atmosphere created by the drums, flute, sax, and Jian's voice is absolutely all-consuming, and the ad-libs on this song are absolutely perfect. I love the backing vocals here. Props to the girl on this track. The production on this song is generally great, and it gets to breathe and evolve. The bridge instrumental is so groovy. I like this. It's a pleasant change and lead to the insane saxophone. The last chorus ad-libs are everything I wanted and more. I absolutely understand why this is a closer. My favorite song on this album, solely thanks to its great instrumental. I absolutely love utilization of actual instruments. This song is a full experience. If you have to listen to any songs from this album, make sure it's Can't Get You. Absolutely top-notch production. The song takes its time to properly develop, has great vocals and vocal layering, great instrumental, and is smart about using them gradually throughout the track to build it up to a very big ending. Nothing but praises for this track, 10 out of 10. Overall, Jae is a sonically cohesive project, a very strong album as a whole, which is pretty rare in K-pop. I think the single being the weakest track on the album has a lot to do with SM pushing to make it an NCT adjacent sound, but regardless, it is definitely not the most offensive thing ever and is a pretty good song with a lot of untapped potential. This album suffers from short runtime as well, but there's a lot of personality in the tracks, and the genres on this project go well together. Top to bottom listening experience isn't jarring. I would definitely not order the tracks the way they've been put by SM. I think Dandelion and Roses back-to-back worked, and it should have stayed together on the track list. This album is cohesive, well-produced, has a great vocal performance from Jaehyun, and is full of songs I find great. This is a 9 out of 10 album to me, and my favorite body of work by a K-pop soloist so far, as well as the best album in K-pop this year. I love R&B and jazz. I need and want more of it. Besides the music, I feel that it's important to commend the incredible creative direction behind this project, as it's incredibly cohesive for one and incredibly refreshing to me. I love how the photos have a cohesive styling aesthetic through to the music videos, and the pre-release music video being one long video contradicting the happy stage of a relationship, being metaphorical dandelions, and the end being metaphorical roses. Streaming era doesn't encourage mixing two songs into one music video, but they still did it because of the artistry of it. And this just feels like someone really cares about this project rather than the numerical aspect of it. The music video for Smoke is another example of this, by direction being almost a mini-movie. I love this. I genuinely hope more creative directors can stick to the mood board and not branch off into completely different concepts. In photos, music videos, and songs on the album, the lack of cohesion in K-pop just feels like people throw stuff together. Creative directors have a bunch of ideas and they throw them all and have different concept photos. And they have a bunch of songs they like, but the songs aren't cohesive. They just throw stuff on albums and hope it sticks. Jaehyun himself wanted to set the tone with a pre-release and even said he's not interested in pertaining to trends. I like that. I respect that. SM obviously dipped their corporate hand into this album, as evident by Smoke's chorus and the English version in the end of the album, kind of ruining the vibe, but ignoring that, I respect Jaehyun's hand in the direction of the project. And it's evident if you know anything about his personal music taste. I almost wish this was an indie release to see its full potential, but I'm also grateful for the budget and SM's creative team. They really made this project what it is. An aspect I kept for last because I doubt anyone cares is SM Entertainment's usual mishandling of strategically rolling out stuff. First of all, this is an issue for all NCT members as soloists, but posting their stuff on the group page is extremely messy since content from all subunits goes there, and it's extremely hard to find out or even see an NCT member is going solo. Cases like Taehyung with several comebacks should have had personal accounts. Secondly, which seems to be the usual, is the amount of time between announcement and the actual comeback. 2 weeks is literally nothing. Let it marinate, especially when there's a pre-release single. The company should promote the single on music shows first. Like, we know SM can do it after Supernova, and only then drop the actual title. Armageddon is the first good rollout I've seen from SM in years, and it seems like that one was a fluke, so what can I say? An entire video of ours can be made about SM Entertainment's fumble history, so I'm not gonna get into that, but it's the exact reason their artists are doing the worst out of the big four in the West. Jeon deserves to get a fan concert, fan signs, and proper promotion on music shows. The lackluster K-chart debut that just dropped isn't due to musical quality. It's probably due to the fact nobody knew about this solo debut. And with that, I believe I have rambled enough about Jeon for an entire year, so I won't yap any further today. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to check out my other videos and please have a good day. If you have thoughts on this album, please let me know. I'm absolutely dying to discuss it.